Welcome to episode 4 of Seeds of Recovery. Today I have the one and only Ivonne with us.
Hi, everybody.
What's up, Ivonne? You look cool.
Thank you.
Huh? Come on, man. You excited or what?
I'm so excited. This is the first time I've ever done a podcast. I'm excited.
First time?
Yes.
Get out of here.
No, really.
Because you talk a lot, right? Right?
Well, never on a podcast.
Well, we're going to have a good time today. In fact, it's going to be so awesome for all our viewers, Ivonne, because today we're going to be talking about a subject that really, oh man, how can I say it? It's really impacting a lot of people, a lot of individuals, a lot of families, and it's stress. Mm-hmm. I mean, have you heard of stress before?
Yes, I have. I live with it every day.
What?
Yes.
Okay. I want to hear about this. So tell me a little bit about the stress that Ivonne was living through.
Living through. Okay. I'm in recovery.
Okay.
I've been sober 5 years, a little over 5 years.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And before I got sober, I was living in a lot of stress, getting up, having to figure out how I was going to get my next meal, how I was going to pay for a hotel, put gas in my car, get my next fix, all these things that were stressful because I wasn't working. I didn't have money. I didn't have anybody who would give me money. So I had to make things happen. And the way it was not legal. So I had problems with the law. Nobody wanted anything to do with me. And I just was lost and hopeless. So definitely lived under a lot of stress then. Mm-hmm. But nowadays I still live under stress, but my stress is a little bit different,
Okay, yeah.
Nowadays it's, what am I gonna pack my son for lunch, and making sure that he has what he needs, for school and at home, and making sure that I get to my clinicals on time, and you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
take care of the things that I need to in the correct manner can be sometimes stressful.
Wow. You remind me of those stories of the worm in a cocoon. That you were living a worm lifestyle.
Yes.
Then you got into a cocoon for a while, I guess, and the metamorphosis and all this transformation is taking place. Mm-hmm. And here comes out, bam!
Butterfly.
An awesome butterfly. And look at you.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you, man.
Thank
That
you.
is so awesome.
Thank you.
And you know what? Yes, you're right that there is stress on every day, but we don't have to allow the stress to control or to fill us to such a degree that it changes our life for the worse.
Right.
Stress is manageable, and that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Yes.
So first and foremost, how would you, Ivonne, define stress?
Stress, I would say, is a state of mental worry caused by a difficult situation.
Oh, wow. Wow, and the difficult situations come in many shapes, forms, sizes, right?
Difficult situations could be losing a job, not being able to pay your rent, not having the clothes that you need, or, not having enough groceries, or whatever it is. I mean, there's thousands of different
relationship
things.
Stress.
Yes, someone passing away,
yes.
Losing a job, or even good things like having a baby, getting married. I mean, there's good and bad, but it's still stressful all the same.
And for a kid, for a young juvenile, an adolescent, can you imagine the stress of maybe not passing a grade, or the stress of peer pressure, or the stress of just wanting to fit in, and maybe not having the cool clothes that everybody else does.
Correct.
And so on and so on, But it's a massive taking that people do when they, I guess, get enveloped and clothed in stress, because it really does a number on you. Mm-hmm. I guess, what would be some of the things that it does to your body and to your mind, stress?
So when you're under a lot of stress, your body creates hormones that lead to a fight or flight response. And when that happens, your heart rate and blood pressure increase, causing you to be a little bit like it causes harm to your body in long term. You can have heart problems, digestive problems, sleep problems, anxiety, depression, all these things from too much stress.
And there's a lot of people, even I was speaking to some people today, And they were like, you know what? I'm having a very hard time sleeping. I have trouble sometimes eating, and my brain is just going on and on and on. And stress is almost like a fear. And I remember one time listening to an acronym of fear, of FEAR, that says false evidence appearing real. I mean, it's you're fearing for something. You're worrying about something that has not even happened yet. You don't even know if it's going to happen, but yet it consumes you so much that you forget about everything else that's in the moment, in the present.
Yes, that is very true.
Now, you said something earlier that caught my attention when you said that you go into a fight or flight response.
Yes.
Can you just elaborate? What is that?
Fight or flight response is, so that happens when you're in grave danger. Let's say somebody's coming in and they're going to break into your house and your life is in danger. Your body goes into a fight or flight. So you're either going to fight and face what's happening, or you're going to flight and run away, you know?
Yes.
But it's a natural response to danger. Now, stress, I mean, is not supposed to affect us like that. You know, stress is a normal coping mechanism, but too much can put us in that fight or flight, which too much of that causes things like heart attacks, you know, because we're constantly living in this fearful, like we're going to die state. And it's not supposed to be that bad. It's just some stress that can be, that's temporary, not long term.
It's like a form of exaggeration, something that,
Correct.
right? It's like blowing up something that, and we'll get to that a little bit later, but you blow up something that really is like, hello, take the air out. Take the air out, because, I mean,
you're going to be fine.
Yeah, because you're making it just bigger.
Right.
You know, the more you're thinking about it. And there's other things that are going on that you're probably missing at the moment, right? So, Ivonne, what would be to you some of the causes of stress? What do you think causes stress to many individuals?
Well, like we were saying earlier, life events, you know, life events, good or bad, losing a job, having a baby, getting married, buying a house, things like that. Traumatic events, you know, somebody passing away, or being in an abusive relationship, or having abusive parents, you know, traumatic events. And for teenagers, like we were talking about, adolescents, you know, lots of homework, fitting in with the cool kids, your girlfriend or boyfriend leaving you. I mean, all kinds of different things.
Or coming home to an empty house.
Yes.
You know, parents are working. Some parents today, you know, unfortunately have 2 or 3 jobs, and they have to make ends meet. So they're not really that much at home. So sometimes children are left unattended for long periods of time.
Right, to fend for themselves.
Precisely.
Right.
You know, and it's like sometimes even going on social media can be so stressful, because it almost seems that you're comparing yourself, you're competing about the trends that are there. And it's like, man, I mean, I need to fit in. So you start doing stuff to your hair, you start doing stuff to your clothing, man. You start, I mean, just trying to really present yourself a picture in your head, right? That it's like, it's not real. It's like, you're awesome the way you are.
Right.
But yet you're creating this illusion that if I don't get to this level, I won't be able to fit in. I won't get the attention. I won't pass. I won't this. I will not be on the team. People are going to reject me. And this stress is a lot of work.
Yes, and I think it's not only applicable to young people, but adults too, because I remember when I had Facebook, I had to get off of Facebook because I felt like if I wasn't doing what, you know, everybody's traveling, or they're going here, or they're taking their kids here, you know, and I thought, well, if I'm not doing these things, then I'm not a good parent, or I'm not, you know, I'm not a good, successful, things like that. And it started making me depressed and questioning my worth. And so I had to let it go.
Now, can you name some stress coping skills that maybe some of our listeners out there are maybe experiencing that? How do people, it's like, okay, that's me. Somebody out there is saying, you know, you're talking about me, man. You're talking about me. That's you're, you know, that's me. But how can we get them help? How is it that somebody that's dealing with stress, battling with stress, how is it that they can actually maybe learn some coping skills on how to deal with stress?
Okay, a few coping skills. Number one is deep breathing. There's a 5-5-10 breathing rule, and it goes breathe in for 5 seconds.
Okay. Oh, man. Here we go.
Breathe out hold it for 5 seconds.
Oh, that's tough. Come on.
And breathe out for 10 seconds. And while you're doing that, your heart rate is decreasing, your mind is relaxing, and the stress that you felt is starting to go away, slowly but surely. So you repeat that 5 to 10 times, and you'll see how much better you feel at the end of that. It's a very good exercise.
You know what? I mean, I understand that because I've seen people do it, and I myself have done it, and you're right. It does bring you to a place of calm. And it's like, you know what? You're able to do this. You can take care of it. I mean, if you're breathing right now, there's hope, people. Right?
Exactly.
There is hope.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What would be another coping skill?
Working out, exercising,
Oh, here we go.
And there's so many ways that you can do. You can go for a walk. You can take a swim. You can go for a run, do some yoga, meditation. I mean, anything that starts pumping that adrenaline and dopamine in your brain to make you feel good can help reduce stress.
Well, movement creates energy.
That's true, yes.
So the more we move, people, the better we can do things.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes what we do when we're being stressed out, we've had a long day, we sit down and we're thinking about the day. And what we're doing is we're piling up in our heads a mountain of negativity, actually. You're creating this thing to yourself, and it's like, man, it depresses you. You don't want to do anything. So some people eat too much.
Or don't eat.
Or they don't eat. Goes from one extreme to the other.
Yes.
But the thing is, movement creates energy. Get up and move around. Stretch. I mean, YouTube right now and social media has a lot of examples of things that you can do at home, or you can be in the gym. Or even if you go to the grocery store, walk through every aisle. You know what I'm saying? Every aisle. I says, why don't I like walking? Walk. Because it's good for you health-wise, and it's a good distressor.
It's a good distressor.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So what would be another coping skill?
Another coping skill would be, well, you said overeating and not eating, but eating well.
Oh, here we go.
Sometimes 80% is what we put into our bodies. So if we're putting poison in our bodies, unhealthy grease and fattening stuff, we're not going to feel good. We're going to be stressed. It's going to add to our stress. But if we're eating well, eating fruits, vegetables, portion control, it can help with the stress that we feel.
Oh, Ivonne, you're talking to me, man. Like, what's going on here? I mean, I recently started juicing and doing all that stuff. And I got to tell you, it doesn't taste the best in the world.
But how do you feel?
But it makes me feel better. You're right. It makes me feel a whole lot better, right? So saying no to the unhealthy snacks, unhealthy foods, and doing some research, I might add, because you need to do your own research as well to find out what type of foods out there are actually maybe not good to eat in the evening. Right? Because they can keep you up.
Yes.
And if you're up all night and you're tired, your body's tired, but you're up, I mean, what are you thinking about? Then you start scrolling, and like you mentioned, you go into social media and you start doing this and that, and you watch the news, and oh my God. I mean, hello, people out there. I mean, one of the things that you can do to cope with stress is stop watching the news. I mean, hello. I mean, I think we should just call it sometimes up news, opinion news or something.
Yes.
Because it's no longer news. I mean, it's like the more scarier, the more ratings it gets. And it's like, I mean, can you imagine having some stress and anxiety on stuff that's happening in another country, in another part of the world, where you and I can't even pronounce the name of those places.
Right.
And yet you finish with the news, and then you're telling yourself and you're telling your loved ones, you know what, the world's going to end. The world's going to end. That's it, man. We're going to World War III. And you start building up again. And it's like, no.
Yes. And touching on that, not just the news, but what you watch has a lot to do with stress.
Oh, hello.
Scary movies, violent movies, even movies with too much action can get you riled up, stress you out. When you're supposed to be calming down, at night, idea to maybe 2 hours before you go to bed, no screen time.
Oh, wow. Now, that would take discipline right there.
Yes.
But then again, you have to ask yourself, how much is peace worth to you?
That's right.
I mean, when was the last time, Ivonne, that maybe us here, or people that are listening, when was the last time you actually experienced a time of peaceful bliss? A time where it was just very calm. The voices and the noise in your head just stopped because you made it happen. You're in control of what goes on in there or not. So we need to take time. We need to take time to be able to put value to our peace. Stress comes it doesn't come at our invitation.
Right.
There's a lot of things that can cause us stress, but we're the ones that control the outcome.
Yes.
We're the ones that determine how much stress we allow and where it gets channeled to. We're the ones that control all that. I remember somebody saying something that I thought was pretty powerful. And you mentioned a quote earlier to me. You remember what that quote was?
It said, don't make a permanent decision on a temporary
Feeling.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Don't make a permanent decision
Yes.
on a temporary feeling.
Yes.
Now, that one right there can preach, man.
Yes.
I got to tell you.
Yeah, if I had done that in a few times, yeah.
How many people today are maybe hitting themselves on their head saying, oh my God, I'm having to pay all these consequences because I had a temporary feeling.
Yes.
I was imagining and maybe putting, again, fear, false evidence, and I made it appear real in my life.
Yes.
And because of that, I'm all out of whack right now. I'm experiencing maybe consequences health-wise. I'm experiencing consequences maybe mental-wise, social-wise, relationships, my family, all because I did not take control.
Right.
So it's very important for us, I guess what I'm listening to you is for us to spend time to pay attention and maybe take inventory. How are we doing with our peace gauge? I mean, are we okay?
Yes.
Are we doing stuff that will bring calmness to our life?
Right.
You know? So, I mean, I think that's pretty powerful. And any other coping skills you might think about?
So a really good one is journaling.
Oh, here we go.
Journaling for me is a good way to get, like, if I'm in a state of panic, stress, I journal how I'm feeling. And when I look down at that paper and I go over how I'm feeling, sometimes I tell myself, okay, Ivonne, it's not that bad. Take a deep breath. It's not that bad. But it's just seeing it on paper and getting it out, because getting it out is the main thing. You can't hold all that stuff in. So whether it be journaling or talking to somebody, that's one of the best coping skills, I would say.
You know, I was doing a group one day and it was about a trash can. And I said, in your house or even in your office or in a school, there's always a trash can in every room. And by the end of the day, somebody comes along and grabs a trash can and goes and dumps it in a trash bin. And once a week, a big truck comes along and puts the trash in the truck and they take it to a landfill, right?
Yes.
Every day,
Yes.
the trash gets thrown away. But you see, if the trash is like your heart, and instead of you finding a trash bin in your life, whatever that may be, some of the coping skills that you're talking about, you know, exercising, journaling, you know, speaking with somebody, whatever it might be. If you don't find a good, healthy coping skill, the trash can gets filled and all you do is compress it and put the trash down. And after a while, if you leave trash long enough in a room for a week, for a month, for a year, it begins to stink. Yes. Ivonne, do you know anybody with a unhealthy or stinky attitude? It could be that maybe they have never, ever found a trash bin in their life. Right. And the trash bin represents those things that are healthy coping skills when we feel all stressed out. Everybody needs to learn to take a break. And one thing that I've noticed as well is also Stop being so hard on yourself.
Yes.
Like, seriously. Like, don't beat yourself up.
Yes.
You're doing great. I mean, today you woke up. Today you put your feet on the floor. Today you went to work. Today you went to school. Today is a brand new start for you. So don't beat yourself up. Some people are so hard on themselves
Yes.
that they don't get to enjoy the moment.
Right.
Like, enjoy the moment of every day. Life is beautiful. Sometimes I hear people say, "Oh, sir, life sucks, man." No. Life is always good. What sucks is a mindset that we have.
Yeah.
Because we're allowing ourselves to feed on trash stuff.
Yes.
So, in taking an inventory of our life, it's very important for us to discover what are the things in our life that are energy wasters, time wasters, and for us to actually take the time to journal them down,
Right.
and then make a conscious decision to do something about it.
Yes.
Because again, you going back to the trash can thing, if you do not throw away the trash,
It's gonna build up.
it's going to build up,
Smell.
and it's going to smell. Then one day you're going to get to the point in your life that if you do not do nothing about that trash, you're going to get used to that smell.
Oh man.
And once you get used to that smell, you think that that's the way life is.
Yes.
And life is not that way. Life is better. There's so much better out there for you, but you need to take the steps necessary. Right?
Yes.
To get your peace. So, wow, that's pretty awesome, man. Now, let me ask you, Ivonne. This is awesome, man. What are the warning signs that somebody might be stressed out?
Warning signs. Let me see. Okay. One could be sadness, feelings of hopelessness. Because when you're under a lot of stress, you start feeling sad, thinking that you're never going to get out of the situation you're in, or that things aren't going to get better, that it's always going to be like that. And that could lead to hopelessness. So if you're experiencing a lot of that, maybe sit back and ask yourself, okay, what's going on? Is there anything that I'm stressing about? What's happened lately? Has anything changed, or has some stuff been added? Like, ask yourself these questions. Another warning sign is headaches. I know I'm one of those that when I'm very stressed out, my whole head hurts. And not this 5-minute headache, but like an all day just pounding, because I'm thinking too much. I'm worrying too much. Yes. So headaches is another warning sign. Difficulty eating is another warning sign. Whether you're eating too little, like you said, or eating too much. If you're stressed out, some of us are overeaters. If we're stressed out, some of us don't want to eat at all because we're just worried. Difficulty sleeping is another one. Some of us like to sleep all day, and we just want to sleep through the days because we're so stressed out, and we've gotten to that sad hopelessness area that we just want to sleep through the day.
In other words, can I just say that it's okay to have days where you're tired?
Yes.
But when you're tired all the time, I think that's a red flag, no?
Yes. Big
right?
red flag.
And you need to check yourself.
Yes.
Like, this is a very good. What would be some other warning signs that you have come across or maybe heard about?
Loss of interest.
Oh, wow.
Yes, not being interested. If you want to go to the beach, or you have hobbies, playing basketball, even working out, doing healthy things, and you lose interest, you don't want to really hang out with anybody, you don't want to go anywhere, you don't want to do anything, that's a red flag too. You need to check what's going on, because...
Oh, that's a good one. Wow, the things that you used to love doing, you don't do anymore.
You don't want to do them anymore.
Wow, wow. So I guess we want to get into a good part.
Yes.
I've noticed that when you've done presentations, because I've seen you do presentations, and you're doing very good. Okay?
Thank you.
You use this activity.
Yes.
You use this balloon.
Okay.
Right? And I know that you have a balloon with you right now.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And you kind of mentioned that the balloon is basically...
Us.
Okay, so just walk us through a little bit. What is it that you do with the balloon, and maybe in talking some of the tips, because guys, pay attention. It's about to get good. Share with us some tips for dealing with stress.
Okay. So this balloon right here represents us, and I'm going to mention different things that stress us out, or you can even pop in and tell me some stuff that stresses you out.
Okay.
Each stressor I'm going to blow into this balloon, okay? So let's say...
Fights in the home.
There you
go.
Getting to work on time.
Oh man, dealing with a bad boss.
Yes. So stressful. Coming home to parents who argue all the time.
Oh man.
Not doing your homework. I mean, being in addiction, is very stressful.
Oh man.
Getting sober.
Not being able to pay your bills.
Not being able to pay your bills. Yes.
Like, wow.
Okay. One more.
Seeing your kids struggle and you think that you're not a good parent.
Yes, that's a big one.
Right?
Yes.
All right. Be careful, man. You're going to blow up
Okay,
this
so
thing.
this is us. All
Okay.
right.
Uh-huh.
If we keep going and we have no outlets, no tips for dealing with stress, this balloon is gonna what? It's gonna pop.
Because naturally, that balloon has the ability to stretch.
Yes.
But even that balloon has a limit,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So make sure, because some of us think that we can handle a lot of things within ourselves, and then we hit the limit and we don't know.
Yes.
And then you if you put a little bit more huffs in there, it's gonna blow up here, and you're gonna scare me, man. So just calm down.
Okay, so tips for dealing with stress.
Okay.
Number one, like I said, talk it out. Okay, find somebody, a teacher, a coworker, a friend,
Counselor.
a family member, a counselor. Yes, there are plenty of people out there that will help listen to what's going on.
Awesome.
So get
Yes.
that out, and when you do that, you start deflating, so
Yes.
we get a little bit less stressed out.
Okay.
Another tip is, like you said, don't be too hard on yourself, because we're our worst critic. And so once we start taking it easy and not being so hard on ourselves, we realize that we can get through this, that it's just temporary. We wait a little bit.
Thinking about some of the victories that you've made, that you've done.
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you did not get to the place where you're at, especially if you're working or if you're in a relationship. Somebody thought you had something awesome about you, that they liked you, they wanted to be with you.
Yes.
And somebody thought you were cool enough that they got you a job. You have a job, right? It might be stressful, but at least you're working, you're
That's right.
employed.
That's right.
So we need to focus on the good things.
We need to focus on the good things. Yes. Another tip is relax your muscles. Like I said earlier, it's stress is tension. So in relaxing your muscles, and there's different exercises. So like if you're sitting in a chair, you can just roll your shoulders back,
Oh, wow.
a few times, and then roll them forward a few times. Do some stretches, like over your head stretches and to the side and behind your back, and just try to release the tension in your muscles. When you do that, you immediately start to feel better, because stress is your body reacts to stress too, not just your mind. So another little bit. Then eating well, like we said, is another tip. You got to eat well. The healthier you eat, the better you're going to feel. Working out is a good tip.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
A big one, though, that we haven't talked about at all, but is very important, is eliminate your triggers.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and
Yes.
eliminating, first you got to find out what your triggers are.
Yes.
Once you do that, you need to make sure to eliminate them from the equation fully. That way,
Now, that one right there. What if it's somebody that you're very familiar with? Sometimes you got to break ties.
yes, sometimes you do got to break ties. In recovery, they tell you got to change your people, places, and things. And sometimes it's the people that you're familiar with. But if they're just adding to the stress, then it's time to cut them loose.
Yes. Wow.
Yes.
Pretty awesome.
Meditating.
Oh, meditating.
Yes. Meditating. Being quiet. Silencing the noise in your brain.
So that means that sometimes you have to pull away and be by yourself. It's okay.
It's okay.
But have a plan when you're about to go by yourself somewhere.
Yes.
Don't just go just for the sake of going. Go with a plan.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Listen to a podcast. Listen to something that's encouraging,
Some
that's
music.
motivating. Yeah, and music that's edifying. And on music, be very careful, because not everything that sounds good is actually good for you.
Right.
You need to be careful of what you're allowing. Your eyes are the windows to the soul.
Yes.
So be careful with what you watch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but very, very good.
Yes. Another one is hobbies. You got to take on some hobbies,
Oh, here we go.
Be able to not distract yourself, but have something to do.
Yes.
When you're feeling stressed out and you get stuck, having something to do, going to play basketball or go to the mall to walk around or take a walk on the beach, whatever your hobby is, get some. If you don't have any, get some,
I always ask people, what are you going to do after work? What are you going to do after school? And they're like, I don't know. I guess just go home. There's no plan.
There's no plan.
So if you don't make a plan, the plan will make you, right?
Yes.
And you have to get to the point that you strategize yourself saying, I need to go do something that's going to be good for my body,
Yes.
good for my mindset, for my mental health, good for my spirit, and good for me overall. So tell yourself, like pause, like when you get out of work, take a minute and just get in your car and just take a minute and just think about, okay, you made it through the day.
Yes.
Did you do your best? If you did, awesome.
Yes.
Now, when you're about to leave the parking lot to go back to your house, guess what? Your role is going to change.
Yes.
You're either going to be a father, a mother, a husband, a wife, a son, or a daughter. Okay, what's your plan? What's your intention for the next hour? Because you got to be intentional.
Yes.
Because this will help you stay focused and stay in a plan to make sure that your stress levels are controlled and managed.
Yes. Yes. And another tip is take a break. And you were just talking about that.
Oh, man.
Taking a break is
Yes.
hard to do, but very important sometimes, because when you're stressed out, going crazy in your mind, thinking that everything is doomed for it, if you take a seat back and take a break, that helps you like refocus and really look at things clearly and help you realize that it's not that big a deal. You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
Ivonne, when was the last time you... Oh, there you go.
There we go.
When was the last time you made a cake for you? Or when was the last time you did something that spoiled you? You spoiled yourself. You did something good for yourself. You gave yourself a pat on the back. You gave yourself all these things, because normally many people, and this is another thing that maybe we didn't touch on that much, but it's very important. We're so busy taking care of others.
Yes.
That we forget to take care of ourselves. So it's okay to do some things for you. Take a hot bath for a while. Make yourself some tea.
Yes. Yes.
Put on some awesome fragrance, man. And do a cake and eat it, man.
Yes.
Not all of it, people. Not all of it. Just a little piece. But the thing is, do something great for you because you deserve it.
Yes.
You got to look yourself in the mirror and use positive affirmations. I am victorious. I am courageous. I can do this. I got this. Because you can. Because so many times I feel that I meet so many people that they're so busy being caretakers of others, and they forget to take care of themselves. And then they get exhausted. They get very easily fatigued, and then they're always fatigued. And the day comes, Ivonne, I don't know if this has happened to you, but I know in my past, this was there, where you're able to do something and you feel guilty. You're doing something relaxing and you feel guilty because you feel, I should be doing this right now.
Yes.
And you don't even enjoy it. You don't even enjoy the moment because your mind is somewhere, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Calm down.
Yes.
The world is still going to revolve without you being there.
Yes.
So learn how to appreciate and how to celebrate you.
Yes, that's really good.
That's
really good. I feel like I needed to hear that.
Well, I didn't hear it too. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, we need to take the time to put worth to ourselves, to our mental health, to our bodies. If you're feeling right now, like Miss Ivonne was talking about, periods of sadness, you feel that you're just fatigued, you feel like maybe you're being overwhelmed with stuff, take a break. Calm down.
Yes.
You know
do
what?
Something for you, like you were saying.
Tomorrow is going to come.
Yes.
If you feel like it's raining on you, please understand one thing. Rain, it does rain here in the valley and other places, I'm pretty sure. And there's thunderstorms all over the place. But one thing I've noticed about storms, they don't last forever. They pass through. So when you're going through that storm in your life, please understand that it's not eternal. It's going to end. It's going to pass through. So what do you do when you're in the midst of a storm? If you're outside, you take an umbrella and you put an umbrella out. Or you go to a place inside of a shelter.
Yes.
Inside of a building.
Keep dry.
Yes, keep dry. So guess what? If you feel that emotionally you're getting rained upon, take out your umbrella, your emotional umbrella, which may be sometimes call a friend, call that sponsor, call that counselor, call that family member. Get into a place, a shelter. Go to places that will elevate you.
Right.
You know, that will edify you, that will motivate you.
Yeah.
Because so many times, again, instead we stay outside in the rain and we complain about the rain so much. And it's like somebody can look at you and be like, bro, you're getting wet for nothing, man. Just come inside.
Yes.
So please, let's pay attention and let's take advice. When we're getting rained upon and our lives are just moved and filled with stress, let's take time to reach out to those and to take inventory. Reach out to those that matter, that care.
Yes.
And take inventory. Like you said, identify your triggers.
Identify your triggers.
What is the one thing that's causing you stress? And sometimes we can do away with that.
Yes. A lot of times you can do away with that.
Now, if you're overwhelmed with a problem as well, you can always ask somebody advice.
Yes.
What do I do? And many people will be willing to sit down and give you a plan of action. Because like yourself, you were mentioning in the beginning how you were going through a lot of ordeals in your life. Well, guess what? You're not there anymore.
No.
And what a glorious thing it is, right? To be out of that hole.
Hallelujah.
But nah, man, it's what makes it all beautiful. Man, Ivonne, this has been awesome talking with you here a little bit.
Thank you.
And I hope that everybody out there just, man, you got encouraged. And stay tuned because Seeds of Recovery, man, will be ongoing and coming. So I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Yes.
So see you guys later.
Thank you.